Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Star Wars Library, where Star Wars is in print, and we're returning back to the Marvel comic book series today to talk about one issue by Mary Jo Duffy from 1984. Now, of course, you can find it in our trade paperback Wookie World, which is volume 6 out of 7 by Dark Horse. And the story that we're talking about today is actually called Wookie World. In fact, this is our cover for issue 91. So this is significant in the sense that it's beginning of the Nogai arc or the Nagai arc, um, which was a big thing near the end of the Marvel comic book series. Sadly, it doesn't seem to be talked about too much, I guess, in the modern expanded universe, just because so many other things have happened. It kind of gets kind of swept under the rug or just ignored. But it was a pretty significant thing for the time. So the story here is that Han, Lando, and Chewie go to Kashyyyk to visit Chewie's family. And so Han does kind of some recollection of how the Empire eventually came and took over Kashyyyk. Kind of cool too, because this is what we'll see again more in the modern expanded universe. Um, and in particular, I guess, The Force Unleashed. We see that in the prologue, actually. And then we'll also see that a little bit too in Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader by James Luceno. Anyways, so they meet a Wookiee named Vargi, and it's actually Chewie's wife, Mala. That's her brother. And so we've met Mala already in the holiday special. And with the art here for Kashyyyk, they seem to be using a little bit of Ralph McQuarrie's sketches, which is kind of cool too because you know it keeps up with how we see it in the films, or at least in Revenge of the Sith. We see like treetops right here. Um, of them doing all that. Anyway, so they meet a guy named Vargi, and that's Mala's brother. They also meet a man called Knife, and it's a name given to him by the Wookiees. Knife is this guy who looks strange, I guess. He kind of, I don't know, he looks kind of like a vampire or something, or a Frankenstein monster kind of thing. Anyways, um, so so it's introduced to Nagai. Lando doesn't know because he's actually a Nagai species. Lando doesn't know it or know his species, um, but we see that Lumpy's back, Chewie's son, and turns out all of this whole thing having him there is actually a trap. They kidnap Han and Lando or cuff them, and so it's oh, it's a trap. And basically, Knife is bringing back the whole Wookiee slave trade, which is kind of how Chewie and the other Wookiees got enslaved. Knife reveals that he's not with the Empire because they're like, oh, it's with the Empire, the Remnant. No, he's not. And so Lando goes to a ship, and Han and Chewie deal with Vargi and all that. And Lando stops Knife, though he does end up stealing Lando's ship, and then he takes off. Um, so, oh my gosh, where is Knife? What happens? Well, it turns out it's setting up um, the Nagai War, and it's also setting up Lumaya's future arc in the series. So um, that's kind of it for this issue. It's just a single issue, but it is cool because again, it does begin to set up our Nagai invasion in the Star Wars universe. So is this an essential read for readers? For Marvel readers, yes, I do think it is. It does hint at a lot. It doesn't show tons, but it does hint and it begins to set the stage for the Nagai invasion. For modern readers, though, no, it is not essential. If you're just reading a couple of Marvel books here and there, or you're not reading the Marvel books right now, or not interested, then you can easily skip this. This is not something you need to check out if you're just looking at the more modern expanded universe. So, folks, that is all the time I have for today, and I will see you next time with another episode of the Star Wars Library.